Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 4, and I think I'm just about done with this season, man. Um, where the flipping hell do we go from here? So many questions to be asked, uh, and it's proof that Unai Emery cannot manage a football team under pressure. Um, yeah, let's talk about it, man. So from the start, Emery's put out his starting lineup. Um, Martinez in goal, Cash right back, Konza, Mings, and Matson. But here's my thing, yeah. I don't know how injured Pau Torres is, yeah, but the consistent playing of Tyrone Mings is weird to me. Like, I don't see what he's offering that makes us look like a better team than when we were unbeaten for 13 games. Um, he wasn't actually bad today. I think Konza was worse than him, but there's just no sort of like consistency in what Emre is doing now that he's being put under pressure to hold the third place spot or get a Champions League spot. Um, and he seems to be like just mix mashing the team up, like just doing things. Like, I know Torres got injured, but is it an ACL injury? Is it ligaments? Is it like what is it? Why is he not playing? Why is he not playing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The left back situation with Mats and Adina, like, you just can't win. Neither of them are great defenders, and they're both attacking minded. So it's one or the other. One's not going to be better than the other. So it doesn't matter who you play left back, to be honest. But um, centre mid, we've got Louise and Onana, who is the obvious choices with the three starters being out. But let's not dwell on that for just a moment. And then we've got Rodgers on the left, Buendia through the middle, and Bailey. Don't know where that came from. Leon Bailey seems to be starting games now, and like, even if he has a bad performance the game before, he's still in. And then we have Ollie Watkins up front, who he might just be done, you know. He might just be done. This might be that deciding season unless he has a good World Cup. Um, yeah, so in the game, 2 minutes gone. Great play from Leon Bailey. Yeah, looks great. From the moment we kick a ball, it looks perfect. Bailey's taken on Hato. Um, he's absolutely skinned him down the right. Played a mediocre ball into the box, which happens to roll. It happens to roll to Douglas Luiz via a dummy from Ollie Watkins. Beautiful little backheel finish into the back of the net, and we're flying. We're absolutely flying, man. From there, we keep up the pressure. Uh, we're having a good first half, to be honest. Yes, um, yes, Chelsea get a few chances, but we're getting chances. This is the most important thing: is we're also getting good chances. So we're actually playing well, and like we're looking at Unai and Ray and we're going, yeah, this is great, this is brilliant. You've got them spurred up, ready to go. We then concede a goal from our high line, which we've been playing from the start. It was breaking down a few times. We were getting opened up by this high line, and it looked like it was time to change it. And then all of a sudden, one ball over the top by Caicedo, which is played Gusto on. Okay, so Konza's played Gusto on the back post. And then as the ball's played into the box and Gusto collects it and he's running in, he plays the ball across the box and João Pedro has an easy tap in. Now, to me, it makes no sense how easy this goal has come about. So, first things first, the ball over the top or from a high line. Why hasn't Emery done something to change the tactics, defend the lead, defend what's going on with this high line? Why hasn't it been changed? It doesn't make any sense to me. And then you watch the replay again, and Rodgers and Maatsen have allowed Gusto to run past them both to get this ball from Caicedo. Yeah. Konza is not in line with his back line. And then he doesn't follow João Pedro into the box. It's the weirdest defensive goal I think we've conceded this season, because everyone just shuts down. Like, the whole team is just completely shut off, forgot how to defend, and it's one of the easiest goals João Pedro will probably score this season. And then we go on an attack, and who was it who played it through? Don't know who played it through, can't quite remember, but someone's played Ollie Watkins through on goal, and he's tucked it into the back of the net, and they've called him for offside. And you're thinking, what's going on here? Oh, it was Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers plays Watkins in. Watkins on his left foot, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, slides it in, 2-1. We're all joy. And then they've pulled it back. They go into VAR, and this goal has been disallowed because Ollie Watkins has decided not to trim his nails this morning. And like, it's just complete bullshit. Like, back in the 90s, noughties, the advantage would go to the strikers, and the game's completely changed to benefit defenders, and it's partially the reason why football has become so boring, and it's starting to annoy me because a lot of goals are getting chalked off through these silly little toenail VAR or a shoulder offside, or like, we need to sort out the offside system because it's clearly not working. And a perfect example of this is the João Pedro goal. So flip it on the other side. Enzo clips a ball through to João Pedro, who is offside. You can see he's offside, And you could also see Ollie Watkins would be called offside by a toe. It's exactly the same thing, but somehow it's flipped that Tyrone Mings is playing him on, and their goal counts. And I think from here is where the whole team's head goes down. Like we just lose concentration, and from there it was an absolute downward spiral. Downward spiral, man. I thought the first half wasn't bad because we were making chances. We were in the game. Like, we wasn't getting battered. Chelsea wasn't dominating. We wasn't playing badly. We were just in the game. It was like a basketball game. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. So, to me, it was a good first half, but you could clearly see what needed to change to help us get back into the game. And in my halftime talk, I said to the chat that Unai Emery was going to ruin this game for us. Yeah. And the way he was going to do it was he was going to bring on Bogard. He was then going to bring on, I said, Lindelof, Ross Barkley, Jadon Sancho, and Tammy Abraham. Yep. I didn't think he was going to give Alisson minutes. And then we came back into the second half, and what happened? He brought on Bogard. Yeah? He didn't bring on Bogard to play in centre midfield. He replaced him with Matty Cash. So, one thing, in fairness to Unai Emery, was Matty Cash was on a yellow card. But these guys get paid at least 50 grand a week to do simple things on the pitch. Trust in your players, bro. Why are we taking him off? Garnacho wasn't a threat. Cash got this yellow card on his own accord. He wasn't getting attacked at the time. It just made no sense why he took him off. He wasn't under threat. And you just stay on your feet and you block everything. If you don't feel like your right back is capable of doing that, you need a new right back. You need a new right back. Because that's awful mentality from your manager and your right back for not being able to be trusted to stay on the pitch and not get booked again. Bear in mind, if he didn't have a yellow card and he didn't get booked for the second half, it's exactly the same thing. So because he's on a yellow card, you get scared that he's going to get booked again. I just think if we're going to lose, yeah, just lose in a good way. Don't change us into a negative team, putting on a non-right back player who's not got the mentality to play like a right back, so he's not going to attack. He's not going to be any threat going forward. You've put him there to make yourself look good, basically, and solve something that you don't want the blame for. So if Matty Cash does get sent off, everyone looks at you and goes, "Why didn't you take him off?" That's all he was doing with that substitution. So he's thinking about himself. Because, like I said, Bogard is not a right back. And we also have Lindelof on the bench. So why couldn't Lindelof come on? If it was that much of a problem that Garnacho was that much of a threat, why didn't we put a defender on? Makes no sense. And then from there, Unai Emery masterclass, really. High lines, one goal after another. Chelsea going through, pass it across the goal. It's absolute FIFA, and basically just tap-ins galore. Tap-ins galore. And it's absolutely horrible. And I'm sick of it. I'm actually sick of it. Yeah, because I predicted this from the moment we won a game. I can't remember who it was, but we won so badly that I knew it would affect our performances. I've been saying this, that 3 points does not give you motivation. Performances is what drives you forward. Even though we get 3 points, we still have players who could think they're not playing well, and they take us into the new game. We could win games, and like we see, Watkins don't score, and he takes it into the next game. 3 points is not the most important thing in a bad performance. And that's where we get it wrong. So going back to the substitutions, he does bring on Barkley, Sancho, and he brought him on with Alisson. So Alisson does get a role. He doesn't bring on Lindelof, and he doesn't bring on Tammy Abraham. He doesn't bring on Tammy Abraham at 60 minutes when we need a goal. Yeah, he has two options: bring Watkins off or add firepower, because we're losing anyway. Yes, Sancho came on and he had a good performance. Yes, Barkley came on and he had a good performance. But it solved nothing, because we still had a striker on the pitch who can't strike. I don't know what's going on with Ollie Watkins, but it is possibly the worst Ollie Watkins we've seen. And he looks finished. He looks finished. He actually looks like he forgot how to be one of the prolific strikers. His connection with the ball when he shoots is all wrong. His ability to find a corner of the net has disappeared. He's now smashing the ball as hard as possible. It just looks a mess. And we need to do something about this, because heading into next year, we cannot go into it with Ollie Watkins. We can't do it. We can't do it. He's doing everything but striking. Everything but striking. So, yeah. Summer's going to be an interesting one. Me personally, I think we need a clear out. We've got a lot of dead weight, um, injury prone players, not enough backup, and we need to start looking to use our academy or under 21s because it's not good enough what we have. We're not developing what we have already. And if we can't afford to buy players, we should certainly be looking at making them. What's the point in having an academy if you can't fall onto your academy players? It makes no sense. So something needs to change. Quite possibly we need to have a big shake up. I'm talking definitely a new goalkeeper because we can't hold on to Emi Martinez and not gain a profit from it. He's getting older. He's not going to be worth much soon. He'll probably, if anything, run down his contract, and that gives us absolutely nothing. So we might as well make a profit from it. We need a new right back because obviously we've seen that we can't trust Matty Cash to go a whole match without getting a yellow card. So if he doesn't stay on the pitch while having a yellow card, that proves to me that he is not reliable, or he is either not a very good defender. Going forward, he can provide a goal or a great shot, but apart from that, I think we need to start looking to the future. There's a lot of players out there. Why can we not find a new right back? Konza, to me, is a stay. We need a second defender, preferably one of Konza's ability to be able to play football while staying on your feet. Pau Torres is good, but it's a tricky one because he's so good playing with the ball, but his lack of speed is something that we need to be aware of because it is a huge thing in his game. He gets caught out a lot because people are faster than him. Left back, we need a new left back. A lot of options out there for a left back. The whole league seems to have a left back, except us. So I don't know if we have one in the academy, like I was saying, but something needs to change. Our midfield, we definitely need a good few midfielders because if we can lose our starting midfielders and we don't have anybody that can replace them to their level, then they are clearly not good enough to be in a starting 11. How can you lose your starting midfield and then be a whole different team when we bring in our second team? Like, the levels between our second team's midfield and our first team midfield is that much of a jump that it's ruined our whole season. So yeah, we need to reconstruct when it comes to the midfield. Family is going to continue playing wingers. Let's purchase some wingers. And let's purchase some wingers with a bit of pace. Yeah? Bit of directness to them. Bit of pace and directness. that's going to provide our striker with crosses and chances. Attacking mid, we do have Morgan Rogers, but that depends on if he stays for a start and if he plays left wing. And up front, we have Tammy Abraham, but he's clearly not good enough because in Emery we trust, we say, and he clearly doesn't trust him because he doesn't play him. So if he doesn't trust him or he doesn't play him, what confidence does that give me that he can start games? So we need a striker. And like I said, there's plenty of strikers out there. There's plenty of players out there. Our scouting system needs to be improved. Because we're just going after the same players as everybody else. How is it we can't find players from other leagues to come in and make an impact like Brighton or Bournemouth, or like, how are we not getting these Brighton or Bournemouth players? Nottingham Forest have been bad this season, but they don't have a bad team. So how is it they can find good players and all we can do is find X players? But frustrating one today, guys. Very frustrating. On to the next game. Hopefully Europa League's back soon because we need to focus on that and get the win. Get the win, win the trophy, because the Premier League is out of our depth. The Premier League's finished. Premier League's finished. There's no point in even concentrating on it anymore. Champions League is what we need. Champions League is the only focus because we need the money. Apart from that, Aston Villa 1, Chelsea 4. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Peace.